Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. And today we're going to be looking at Rick Neal's latest book.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of this one.
Yeah, you can find it on Amazon. And it's all about Brenda Matthews.
Okay.
This aspiring wellness entrepreneur who just has a real passion for essential oils.
It's interesting.
It's really funny. Neal does a great job of kind of capturing her chaotic journey into this world. And
I've heard some things.
yeah, I mean, some of these stories are just wild. Like turning yourself purple from like a career clarity blend.
What?
I know, it's crazy. Or like sparking a llama stampede because of like coconut oil infused yoga mats.
How do you even...
It's a wild ride.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Yeah, but what I really love is like amidst all this chaos, you can really see like Brenda's just this like unwavering optimism.
Yeah, I can see that.
And her entrepreneurial spirit just shine through, and it
He doesn't give up.
never gives up. Yeah. So before we get into all the really crazy mishaps, let's start with like, what motivated Brenda to go down this essential oil path in the first place?
Well, from what I've read, it seems like it all started with this like epiphany that she had.
Oh, really?
Yeah, surrounded by, her giant collection of essential oils.
Right.
She basically felt this like calling to share her like self-proclaimed genius with the world.
It's like she was chosen by the universe or something to be like the essential oil guru.
Right. Yeah. But, it also kind of speaks to that drive that a lot of entrepreneurs, like they have this deep belief in their product and they just have to share it.
Absolutely. And that passion is often what leads to success.
Exactly.
But in Brenda's case, it also leads to some pretty interesting outcomes.
To put it mildly.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that cocoa skin incident.
Oh, yeah.
Neal talks about how Brenda sprayed her friend Carol with this motivation mastery blend.
I can only imagine what was in that.
I know, right? Like, who knows what she put in there, but...
and how did Carol react to that?
Oh, she was not happy.
But it's interesting because, like, Neal doesn't really go into the science of essential oils too deeply. But he does hint at, like, the potential risks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, he describes the blend as being, like, citrusy and minty, but with this, like, sharp, unfamiliar undertone.
That's a little ominous.
Yeah, it definitely makes you wonder. And, it just reminds us that even though these are natural ingredients,
right,
you got to be careful because you never know how they're going to react.
Especially when you're mixing them in, like, untested combinations.
Oh, yeah.
Which reminds me of the yoga mat incident.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
What was she thinking?
I know, right? Like essential oil-infused yoga mats. What could go wrong?
Everything, apparently.
Pretty much. Neal paints this hilarious picture of this yoga class descending into chaos, people slipping and sliding, the instructors trying to keep it together, and Brenda is just totally oblivious.
Classic Brenda.
Totally. But it also makes you think about this whole DIY wellness trend that's going on.
It's very popular right now.
Yeah, people want natural solutions.
Yeah.
But it's so important to, like, do your research and be cautious.
Definitely.
You don't want to end up causing a coconut oil slick in your yoga studio.
Absolutely. It's all about finding that balance between being excited about natural remedies and, actually knowing what you're doing.
Exactly.
Huh.
And sometimes that means accepting that not every experiment is going to be a success.
Especially when llamas are involved.
Oh, man. The spring parade incident is just next level.
I heard about this one.
So Brenda creates this float of fragrance for the parade with, you guessed it, essential oils.
Of course.
And somehow it attracts this herd of llamas and causes like a full-blown scented stampede.
You can't make this stuff up.
Neal's description of it is just pure comedic gold.
Yeah.
But, behind all the humor, there's this serious point about how our actions can have these unintended consequences.
Even when we're trying to do something good.
Exactly. It really makes you wonder if sometimes passion without a little practicality could actually backfire.
That's a good question to think about.
It is. And this is where Brenda's interactions with Doris come in.
Who's Doris?
Oh, she's this like local aromatherapy expert known as the Lavender Lady.
Huh.
Brenda sees her as kind of like a rival, but also maybe a potential mentor.
Interesting.
It's this weird dynamic, and it really shows that tension between like the established way of doing things,
right,
and then this desire to kind of shake things up and innovate, especially in a field like aromatherapy where it's like art meets science.
Right.
But of course, leave it to Brenda to accuse Doris of sabotaging her blends just because their scents were similar.
Oh, no.
It's a classic case of paranoia and maybe a little bit of inexperience.
Probably a lot of inexperience.
Yeah. It's a reminder that learning from those who've been there before you is so valuable.
That absolutely.
It can save you a lot of trouble and probably a few lavender explosions along the way.
I bet.
But Doris isn't the only aromatherapy expert who enters Brenda's world.
Oh, really?
Yeah, her idol, Madame Aroma, makes an appearance.
Oh, wow.
And it leads to the most chaotic scene in the whole book.
Oh,
Brenda's grand opening for her new boutique.
I can only imagine.
It's like everything that could go wrong does go wrong. A misspelled sign, a catering disaster involving lavender cleaning, supplies a sudden downpour.
Oh, my.
And then the infamous diffusion dome explosion.
What is a diffusion dome?
Whoa, you'll have to read the book to find that out.
Okay.
It's just pure Brenda chaos condensed into one event.
I can see that.
But, even amidst all the disaster, you see these glimpses of, genuine connection.
Really?
Yeah. Brenda's enthusiasm, even though it's often misplaced, seems to bring people together in a way.
Interesting. So it's not all bad.
No, not at all. Maybe it's her resilience or her ability to laugh at herself, or maybe it's just the sheer absurdity of it all. But people are drawn to her.
I think it's a combination of all of those things.
Right,
It's like she creates this whirlwind of chaos, but somehow people want to be a part of it.
Exactly. And Neil really captures both the humor and the heart of that.
That's good writing.
Yeah, he really does. So for our listeners who might be new to the world of essential oils, what do you think is driving their popularity these days?
Well, there are a lot of perceived benefits, stress relief, relaxation, mood enhancement. Some people even believe they have healing properties.
And Brenda's story, even though it's obviously exaggerated, does reflect that trend of people looking for natural ways to improve their well-being.
It's definitely a growing movement.
But as we've seen, you got to approach it with caution.
Yeah, you can't just go mixing oils willy-nilly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A little knowledge can go a long way.
And maybe prevent a few explosions along the way.
Definitely. So in the next part of our deep dive, we're going to really get into Brenda's entrepreneurial journey.
Okay.
We'll look at the lessons she learns or doesn't learn from her mistakes and how community plays a role in her eventual success.
I'm intrigued.
That's a wild ride, so stay tuned.
Brenda's entrepreneurial journey, it's a roller coaster, isn't it?
It's a wild ride.
Yeah.
Filled with all these hilarious mishaps. But what's interesting is that there are actually some surprisingly insightful lessons there, too.
Oh, absolutely.
What struck me was just how, unconventional her whole approach to business is.
It's definitely not by the book.
No, not at all. She has this incredible enthusiasm, and she really believes in her product.
Which is great.
Yeah. But then the execution, it's missing that, strategic planning, that market awareness that you'd normally see with successful entrepreneurs.
Yeah, she's definitely more of a fly by the seat of her pants kind of entrepreneur.
Totally. Remember the grand opening of her boutique?
Oh, yeah. How could I forget?
It was just this comedy of errors, the misspelled sign, the catering disaster with the lavender cleaning supplies, and then to top it all off, it starts pouring rain.
Oh, my goodness. It's like something out of a movie.
It really is.
Yeah.
But Neil does such a great job of capturing it all. It would have been easy to just portray Brenda as incompetent. But he really shows, her genuine intentions and this almost childlike wonder that she brings to everything.
That's what makes her so endearing.
Exactly. Even when she's making these decisions that make you just shake your head.
Like her market research strategy.
Oh, yeah, that was something else.
She seemed to rely more on intuition and gut feeling than any actual data.
It's like she was just winging it.
Pretty much. Like with that motivation mastery blend that turned Carol purple.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. What a disaster.
It just shows you how important it is to really understand your ingredients.
And their potential effects.
Right. Even natural ingredients can be unpredictable.
Especially when you're combining them in ways that haven't been tested.
And let's not forget about the coconut oil-infused yoga mats.
Oh, yeah. That was another classic Brenda moment.
Good intentions gone wrong.
Very wrong.
It's a good reminder that you need to thoroughly test your products before you unleash them on unsuspecting customers.
Absolutely. No one wants to end up in a slippery coconut oil pile during their yoga class.
But you know what I admire about Brenda is her resilience.
Yeah, she doesn't let these setbacks get her down.
She bounces back so quickly. It's like she takes these mistakes and turns them into opportunities to learn and improve.
That's a valuable trait for any entrepreneur.
Absolutely. And then there's her branding.
Which is as unique as she is.
It's vibrant, chaotic, unpredictable. It's basically an extension of her personality.
In a world of carefully curated brands, Brenda's authenticity is kind of refreshing.
I agree. It definitely makes her stand out.
Although sometimes maybe not for the right reasons.
True. Attracting a herd of llamas to your spring parade float is definitely memorable.
But maybe not the kind of publicity you want.
Right. It's that fine line between being authentic and being reckless.
And Brenda definitely walks that line.
Which is why I think the presence of mentors in her life is so important.
Absolutely. Like Doris.
Yes. the Lavender lady.
She starts out as this rival, but then she becomes this invaluable mentor.
She gives Brenda guidance on blending techniques, business practices, the importance of subtlety.
It just shows you how important it is to seek out guidance from people who have more experience.
And to be open to learning from those who might seem like competitors at first.
Because they can save you from making a lot of mistakes.
And potentially a few lavender explosions.
Exactly. And then there's Madame Aroma, Brenda's idol.
Right. Even she ends up teaching Brenda some valuable lessons.
Like finding that balance between passion and pragmatism.
It's interesting how even someone as eccentric as Madame Aroma can offer wisdom and insight.
It's a reminder that learning can come from the most unexpected places.
So it seems like Brenda's journey is as much about building relationships and finding her community as it is about creating these essential oil blends.
Absolutely. It's about understanding that success is rarely a solo effort.
It's about surrounding yourself with people who believe in you, who challenge you to be your best, and who are there to celebrate your wins and support you through the tough times.
And Brenda's story really highlights the importance of nurturing those relationships.
Because sometimes the journey is just as important as the destination.
And sometimes that journey is messy, unpredictable, and filled with lavender-scented mishaps.
That's the beauty of it.
It's those unexpected twists and turns that make the experience memorable and shape who we are.
So for our listeners who are maybe thinking about starting their own businesses, what are some of the key takeaways from Brenda's chaotic journey?
Well, first and foremost, passion is crucial.
Right. Yeah, I love what you do.
But it's not enough on its own. You need to balance that passion with pragmatism, a willingness to learn, and the understanding that you're going to make mistakes.
Some of which might involve accidentally dyeing someone purple or causing a llama stampede.
Exactly. But as Brenda shows us, even the biggest mishaps can be valuable learning experiences.
It's all about how you handle them.
And about those connections we make along the way.
With our supporters, our mentors, the people who make the journey worthwhile.
So as we move into the final part of our deep dive, let's explore how those connections and Brenda's unique approach to business ultimately lead her to success.
We've been talking about Brenda's chaotic journey and all her, unconventional business moves. But I think it's important to talk about her community.
Yes, definitely. Her support system is so crucial.
Throughout the whole book, you can really see how Brenda's success isn't just because of her. It's because of the people around her.
Absolutely. It takes a village, right?
It really does. And in Brenda's case, her village is full of some pretty amazing people.
That's for sure.
Like her friends Carol and Dennis.
They are the best.
They're like the ultimate cheerleaders, always there to listen, to help clean up her messes, literally and figuratively.
And to offer a reality check when needed.
Oh, yeah. They're not afraid to call her out when she's being reckless.
But they always do it with love.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's that perfect balance of support and honesty.
Which is so important for growth.
Absolutely. They believe in her, but they're also realistic about her flaws.
And then you have Doris, the Lavender lady.
Right. She goes from being this perceived enemy to this incredible mentor.
It's amazing how the relationship evolves.
She gives Brenda so much practical advice about blending, about business, about, just life in general.
It highlights the value of finding mentors, people who've been there and done that.
Yeah, you don't have to figure everything out on your own.
Asking for help is not a weakness.
It's a strength, for sure. And even Madame Aroma, with all her eccentricities.
Oh, yeah, she's a character.
Brenda's idol. Even she offers some wisdom.
Like encouraging Brenda to be more subtle?
It's funny how you can learn from anyone, even someone who sets off glitter bombs and exploding diffusers.
It's true. Sometimes the most unexpected people have the best insights.
So it seems like Brenda's journey is as much about personal growth and finding her tribe as it is about essential oils.
It really is. It's about recognizing that success is rarely a solo act.
You need those people around you who cheer you on, who push you to be better, and who are there for you through thick and thin.
And Brenda's story is a great reminder to nurture those relationships.
Because sometimes the journey is just as important as the destination.
And sometimes that journey is going to be a little messy.
A little unpredictable.
And maybe involve a few lavender-scented disasters.
But that's what makes it interesting.
It's those unexpected moments that make life memorable.
So for our listeners out there, what do you think is the biggest takeaway from Brenda's chaotic but ultimately successful journey?
I think it's the power of community. Surrounding yourself with people who support you, challenge you, and can laugh with you when things go wrong.
And don't be afraid to ask for help, to find those mentors who can guide you along the way.
Because even amidst the chaos, there's beauty connection and the potential for incredible growth.
Well said. So that's our deep dive into the world of Brenda Matthews, a hilarious and surprisingly insightful look at entrepreneurship, friendship, and the power of essential oils.
Make sure you check out Rick Neal's book on Amazon to get the full story.
It's a great read, full of laughter, warmth, and a reminder that even the most chaotic journeys can lead to success.
Until next time, stay curious, stay connected, and embrace the chaos.
Because you never know where it might lead you.